Welcome to the channel. Today I would like to present a book review. It is The Devil and Karl Marx. It is written by Paul Kengor, who is a professor at the Protestant Grove City College in Pennsylvania, but he is Catholic. He has written for the National Catholic Reporter, and you can see his perspective from a Catholic point of view. Foreword is by Michael Knowles, who is a popular political commentator. Now in the book, of course, you're going to get a lot of Karl Marx. It first starts out with, it's a 400-page book, and it first starts out with around 100, first 100 or so pages are about Karl Marx and his life. He was definitely filthy, physically and mentally as well, and he was, it seemed as though he was inspired by the demonic. Hence the title, The Devil and Karl Marx. The next 200 or so pages talk about the history behind Marxism. So it's a very brief, there's a very brief summary of Marxism in the Soviet Union and how it spread to the United States, particularly in the 1930s. It deals a lot with the 1930s and the different communist, openly communist groups in the United States, and how the communists infiltrated Protestant religions, particularly the Methodists. It doesn't deal extensively with the infiltration of the Catholic Church. There apparently is not a lot of sources to validate this information. It does talk a little bit about Bella Dodd, and how Bella Dodd, she claimed to have planted 1,000 communists in Catholic seminaries, but again, there's no sources for that. It deals mostly with the Protestant infiltration, or the infiltration of communists into Protestant groups. And you can see its effects today. Now, one interesting point is Holy Name Society. Have you heard of the Holy Name Society? Well, it was very popular back in, well, pre-Vatican II. It seemed like every Catholic man was a member of a Holy Name Society of their local parish. Communists infiltrated that in the 1930s, I believe. They infiltrated particularly New York City's Holy Name Societies, and you don't see very many, if any, Holy Name Societies anymore. And so I guess their attempts, you could say their attempts were successful. Now, infiltrating the Catholic Church, this author seems to be quite a big fan of Fulton Sheen, and he quotes him at length, and Fulton Sheen certainly appears to have had a positive impact against the communists, as well as numerous encyclicals and writings from popes and statements as well from various popes against communism. And that certainly helped, protect the church somewhat from communism. Unfortunately, it seems as though the infiltration is deeper than a lot of people have anticipated, and communism has seeped its way in the church. It is the religion of revolution. And, I mean, we see massive changes in the church. I mean, obviously society, Paul Kengor deals with the massive changes in society. At the end of the book, he talks about particularly the LMNOP agenda, the Rainbow Agenda, taking over society, and he deals very briefly with the Marxist tactics, how we see that in connection with the LMNOP agenda in connection with Marxism. And these filthy, disgusting people that were associated with Marxism. And so, I want to say at the end, I thought it was pretty interesting. He was listing his acknowledgments, and he said, "Perhaps an odd and unexpected acknowledgment. I thank the saints. Their direct connection to the divine, to truth itself, allowed me to purge the toxic nonsense I had read every day from the miserable purveyors of Marxist bilge that was a regrettable part of my day job." And so it seems as though he didn't intend to necessarily write this book on Marxism. It just kind of found him as he researched it deeper and deeper, and it's not a pleasant topic. The tortures how the Soviets tortured Catholics is particularly disgusting. I think we need to reflect on our own lives and on our own society and how we must fight Marxism every step of the way, or else this is going to happen to us. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, if you've never really researched the background of Karl Marx, or you just want to see a perspective of how Marxism infiltrated society, this is a good book. I would say it's not an all-inclusive volume. I mean, you can see it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick, and it does give enough information, but a lot of the topics here, it just kind of scratches the surface of the different topics because it's such a complicated topic and how the world's gone so far downhill since Karl Marx released his ridiculous Communist Manifesto. So this has been my book review for The Devil and Karl Marx by Paul Kengor. It's published by Tan Books. And if you're interested, pick up your copy. Thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.